Any of the guests here today that know me at all will know I'm not one for public speaking. I also love a beer, so I'll keep this really short so we can all get back to boozing. On behalf of the bride and groom, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for being part of their day. I'm sure I can speak for them by saying they're both so touched that so many family and closest friends have attended Culshaw Hall today. Claire, firstly may I say how beautiful you look, and what a credit to your parents, Marie and Dennis. Also the bridesmaids, Catherine, Emma, Ellie and Parveen. Not forgetting the flower girls, Kimberly and Daisy Bow, who also look fantastic. So to start with, James is known to us lads by such names as James, Jimmy Dubs, Dubstar, Dubbiano, Wardy and Jim, so I'll refer to him as Jim in this speech. When Jim asked me to be best man, I was totally honoured and proud, of course. I said yes straight away. He's one of my closest and best friends. Jim was best man at my wedding, and his speech must have took some time and planning, as it was top drawer. He had the whole room on their feet laughing. I appreciate the chance to repay the favour. A best man usually writes a speech and gets to see his best friend married to the love of his life, whereas I'm truly lucky as I get to do this, but because Claire is a good friend of mine, I get to see two of my friends marry each other, which on a personal note, bear with me, on a personal note makes it even more special. I also know both Jim's and Claire's parents pretty well, so I can say today is the joining of two loving and wonderful families. I know Jim a lot more than I know Claire and can say he doesn't settle for anything other than the best in his life. So this just says to me how perfect and great a person Claire is, and they're a perfect match together. I've seen them both together as a couple since they first got together, and one big thing I've always admired about them two is how they are their true selves with each other, which not all couples are. I see you both not just as a great couple, but as real best friends. Exactly. Any couple that can go midday to an empty karaoke bar in Manchester and just laugh and sing at each other are definitely meant to be together. Now, as best man, I've been thinking about our many stories from nearly 20 years of friendship and what would go down well in this speech. On Jim's strict warning, I've cut out 99% and edited it, so today continue to run smoothly. Jim and I met years ago from going out every Friday and Saturday night in Blackpool. Straight away we hit it off, had loads in common. Watching movies, silly long hair, laced with Brill cream, awful shirt and tie combos, tight Farrah pants, and mostly throwing silly amounts of booze back in a very short space of time. So much so, on one occasion, it must have been only 9 o'clock, Jim had downed 4 quadruple vodkas in a row and was struggling to get in any bars. It was then we developed an even tighter bond, as about for the next 10 minutes he asked me to belt him across the face harder and harder each time until he sobered up. It actually worked because we did end up getting in a few of Blackpool's classy establishments. Jim and I have been on lads' holidays together, done USA road trips together, lived in a couple of different cities together and worked together. Jim first set up his own company in Leeds and then later moved to Manchester and got an office on Deansgate. He needed some help with the computer side of things, that's where I came in. The company when starting out was only me and Jim, well just Jim but me. And yet for some reason every day he made me put a suit, shirt and tie on, which to some might seem like a fairly reasonable request, yet it was only the two of us in a tiny office, and Jim knows of my massive dislike to wearing a suit, shirt and tie. There was completely no need for this, yet daily he took pleasure in seeing me squirm, awkwardly fiddling with my collar, tie and shirt. It's funny how our friendship has worked like this. We've always took great pleasure in seeing the other person uncomfortable. On that note, there was a time in 2004 on a lad's holiday in Cancun, and a few days into the holiday we decided to go to a water park, and in true Jim spirit, even though self-admittedly he's not a great swimmer, he was well up for it. As we got there, we decided let's go straight to the biggest slide and box it off. One after one we went down this huge slide, leaving Jim to go last, which worked out perfectly for us boys, so we could all watch him come fiercely flying down to the bottom, where all the kids and families stood watching. The only problem was, by the time Jim got to the bottom, his tiny swim shorts were around his nipples, leaving nothing to the imagination of the crowds. Any normal person would be embarrassed. He was laughing as much as us. Once we got the feeling back in our faces from laughing, we moved on to another slide that you go round and round in a circle in the pitch black. and then about 2 or 3 metres high drop into a pool. Purposely, us boys all went first before Jim, just to see what might happen this time. Again, with no fear, jumped onto the slide. Yet near the end he must have been a little disorientated. He dropped into the water upside down. He then started flapping around, gurgling for help. Basically, he was probably drowning. And instead of any of us lot helping him, we were all just doubled over in laughter. On the side of the pool, there was a very slight of build female lifeguard who started blowing her emergency whistle and diving in and rescued him. With basically most of the water park watching this. Jim was the star of the show that day, but deep down his attitude to anything like this his attitude to anything is always like this. I've never known him back down from a challenge, and he has no quit in him. One of the many traits I admire about him. I'm pretty sure he ran the New York Marathon with zero training, even though it did take him all day. As we grow older, our life priorities change and time is more precious to who you spend it with. Most people try and spend as much time with family and close friends. Less important friendships slip by the wayside. This most definitely can't be said for Jim and I, as we keep in touch pretty much most days. For two people who have completely different personalities, have so many similarities. I can definitely see us when we're old and grey, still going out for beers and laughing about the good times, retelling our old stories. He'll still be taking the piss out of what I wear when I'm a pensioner, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Our friendship is, for me, built on massive trust, respect and loyalty that we have for each other. So what I say now is... Come on, Baz, come on. So what I say now is, we aren't friends. We haven't been friends for years. We are family. And this bond is one of the things I honestly cherish most in my life. Closing this up now, this day has been a long time coming. I'm so proud just to be a part of it. Jim and Claire are made for each other and will have the rest of their lives to share together. And with that, can I ask everyone to stand, raise a glass. To Jim and Claire.